Hello YouTube, my name is The Legend of DS, and welcome to another Super Smash Bros. Video, and what a time to be alive, you guys. We just got the Nintendo Direct. Well, I say just, to me, the day of this being recorded has been 2 full-blown days, well, technically speaking at this point, almost 2 days and a half, since we got the Nintendo Direct specifically for Super Smash Bros. And what a Direct it was! Jesus Christ, we got 2 brand new characters, 3 new Echo Fighters that people were predicting in the case of Dark Samus and Chrom. We got an Echo Fighter that nobody saw coming, the first third-party Echo Fighter, Richter Belmont, which kinda confirms that, or at least allows the speculation to continue that, hey, Ken, Shadow will be, maybe Jean will be Echo Fighters for the already existing cast, because nobody knew if we were gonna get Echo Fighters for third party, because that's still dependent on the third party companies. And hey, look, we are getting it. The amount of tracks and music in this game is insane. Almost 900 pieces of music, 28 hours of full content of just music, which is brilliant. Castlevania, for crying out loud, gets 34 songs in the game. Let's be completely honest, we all know Castlevania has some really good tunes. I mean, the remix of the arrangement of Vampire Hunter we heard in that Nintendo Direct was brilliant. And I'm not too sure if that arrangement, I believe for the Dracula theme, was also new, but that was so good as well. We also heard new music for the Inklings. We saw that all the characters now, instead of being, not the characters, the stages, the music of the stages, instead of being based on the stages, based on the entirety of the franchise. So Breath of the Wild stages are not just tuned to don't just have Breath of the Wild music, or the Ocarina of Time stages only have Ocarina of Time music. No, it's an entire new world where every single character or every single stage has the music of the entire series. And what about those stages, huh? 103! And as you've noticed, the title of this video was about the stages, and Jesus Christ, it took me a while to get here. We have officially confirmed 103 stages. Sakurai we said 103, but we know more than 103. We actually know 103 plus 1, or 104. We know about the Monster Hunter stage, and this is what this video is all about. This video is about obviously questioning if we are getting in fact more than 6 more stages and 6 more characters. Now bear with me, let's get on with it. First things first, what makes me believe in this prediction and this theory, I don't know if this is actually an actual theory that's floating around the internet, but even if it isn't, I'm gonna put this out there, even if it sounds insane, and it's going into the speculation that I don't like doing, but it has more credibility, I believe, than looking into the big poster for Super Smash Bros. Character from the Everyone's Here poster, to see if I can find any blank spots where characters could fit, because honestly that image can be altered and photoshopped and changed. I mean, I've already seen that when I already looked up, and I probably will put it up right now, the comparison picture of where King K. Rool now exists in the picture and the before photo, and there's a difference there. So my theory, this idea, and I think probably a lot of people have had it already. I don't know if this is floating around the internet, like I said, but if you look at the stage select screen, we have all 103 characters or stages, but we have a big empty block of black. It's just a black bar basically next to the Dracula's castle. And in that picture, you can see, and the picture probably is on screen right now, we have room for at the very least 6 more characters, or 6 more stages. There's room for that. And with the recently announced of Rathalos, or whatever, the Monster Hunter boss, being a boss character and an assist trophy, and appearing to be in a stage for Monster Hunter, that would leave more spots. That would leave 5 more spots. Now, obviously, there's already been some debate over the fact that if we have, I've seen this one, this at very least I know, over the fact that do we have 103 or more characters, because Sakurai was very specific in saying 103, despite the fact that then he showed the Monster Hunter stage, or the place where you fight the Monster Hunter boss. Now, here's the thing going about this. Normally, like I said, I don't like this type of speculation, but in a game like Super Smash Bros. Ultimate, it feels a little weird that they would have that select screen, have all 103 stages, and basically then have a blank empty bar to fill that nice square. Is it a square or rectangle? Rectangle. Yeah, rect. Okay, I'm gonna stop saying it because I probably won't say it correctly anymore. A rectangle. Okay, yeah, let's go with that. Rectangular picture. Rectangular. Let's not go with, let's keep moving. The square, I'm just gonna call it a square because it's, okay. Not have it full, you know, in a game like this where they go above and beyond, to be just 6 short feels a little bit weird. Not only that, we already have so much music, heck, they could have just brought in more stages. I believe there's 15 stages missing, so you could have easily brought one over. Obviously not easy, but I believe there's still some 64 character or stage missing, so again, they could have probably relatively easily have done it, but they haven't. Why is that? Why would they go above and beyond for everything else in this game? Everything, and then leave that empty spot, those 6 spots. Well, my theory is that those 6 spots is for 6 characters that will be bringing in their own stages, not counting Echoes. Echoes don't count into this. And the reason I think that is that we basically have the confirmation already with the Monster Hunter level. Now, here's the thing. There's already been some debate about that being a stage or being a mode, a part of a game mode. Now, let's be completely honest. If it is a part of a game mode, does it really, both of them I believe lead to the same place. Let's say that it's a part of a story mode. It could be a part of a story mode, single player like Subspace, or a single player mode like Boss Rush. Both of these are very likable options, but the Dracula footage also has only one time 2 characters on screen fighting Dracula. Every single other time you have only one character battling Dracula. And as GameX pointed out, it's on a completely different level than what Dracula normally would be. It's not Dracula's castle from the stage Dracula's castle. So it's a different stage. Which leads to the question, even if these two, let's assume these two are correct, that whatever we saw in the Direct was a game mode, probably is a boss rush, because if it is a story mode, that would mean that you probably would pick characters, and I don't really like the idea of going through all the levels with all the characters, or as you go on unlocking them. I want the story mode to be fragmented as you go unlocking characters as you go and you play with them as you go. That would be really cool. But let's assume for a moment that it is, those two cases are correct. That still leaves a big question. Why would there be a Monster Hunter boss and assist trophy, a location of a Monster Hunter boss and location in a story mode or a boss rush mode without a character or a stage? Heck, the stage is already there, so they could have just make it a stage itself, unless for whatever reason the stage that's way more complicated or too complicated because you remove the boss character, which they already do with hazards turned off. So that can't be it. That would be in the boss rush mode, and in the campaign, in the story mode, what canonical sense, in what universe would they make sense of, like, you know what, we're gonna go to the Monster Hunter world now. I mean, you can say, oh, well, whatever he's doing, the story mode, whatever evil is inside of the story, he teleports them there. Okay, let's assume that there's there. Why would Nintendo go to Capcom, get Mega Man and Zero, and then like, you know what, we don't want a character, we don't want a stage, we just want a location from Monster Hunter, we want a Monster Hunter play a boss character that could also be an assist trophy, and that's it. Or Nintendo said all of this plus the character in the stage, and Capcom just went like, nah man, we're fine with just having a boss battle and an assist trophy and a location. We don't want a stage. It's too much hassle for you guys. That makes no sense. You know, if we think logically, even with the asinine things Capcom has done over the last few years, they would look at it and be like, oh yeah, it's free money, why wouldn't we do it? I mean, Mega Man's in the game, that took them nothing. Are you telling me that they wouldn't want what has been their biggest franchise in the past 10 years, and a franchise that was incredibly famous and popular on Nintendo systems. Yes, Monster Hunter World sold incredibly well on the Xbox One and PS4, but it still sold tremendously well on Nintendo systems as well. Let's not kid ourselves, a bit around the bush. The game literally did 4 million in Japan only on the 3DS, which is more, about 1 million, 2 million more than what it's done on the PS4. We don't know any more numbers for digital of Monster Hunter. And Monster Hunter World in Japan is only one game, while the games for the 3DS were all divided into multiple ones. There was 4, there was 4 Ultimate or G and whatever. Now you might be asking, the big question could be, if they were doing that, if the character is coming, if the stage is coming, why didn't they announce it? Easy. Very easy. Because it's not the time or the place. It teased us. It allows idiots like myself to come on to YouTube and ramble on for about well, it's been what? It's been come on, show me the timer. Oh, it's been 11 minutes. Clearly 11 minutes. And it creates speculation. People get talking. There's discussion about it. But the reason I believe they didn't is because they're saving it for later. How much later? Well, a month. I'm going to be completely honest, a month. Because Nintendo's already confirmed that the online services are coming in the second half of September. So the second half of September, well, September is technically speaking a 5-week month, because, you know, technically speaking, Saturday and Sunday are part of 1 week, but they really aren't. So if we go by dividing into 2 halves, then the first half terminates in normal regular days, not counting weekends, on the 14th, while the second half begins on the 17th. So there will be a Nintendo Direct most likely right around the 13th or the 6th of September for just a Nintendo Direct that will also cover that. And one of the announcements we can see in that Nintendo Direct, apart from obviously talking about the online infrastructure and what's coming later, either this year or next year, would be and could probably be for next year a Monster Hunter 5. And yes, I believe it would be called Monster Hunter 5 and not World 2 or a port of World, because Capcom gave a reason why it was not called Monster Hunter 5. It's because they were afraid that people would feel like there was too much of a backstory to this franchise, so they wouldn't pick it up, which is kind of BS. A lot of games sold tremendously well, even though they had higher numbers on them. Final Fantasy VII was what made the series break out in the West, and it was called 7. Heck, 16 was the first, or 15, Final Fantasy 15 was like the first Final Fantasy in a decade, I think. I could be wrong. No, not a decade, but close to it, at the very least half a decade. There's other games that, like Xenoblade Chronicles 2 is the most successful Xenoblade Chronicles game ever. Same thing for Persona 5. So numbered releases don't really make the game not sell that well. But I'm predicting that. It's either because they didn't want... they probably was more of a fail-safe in case the Monster Hunter World did not sell that well. They probably said Sony, yeah, it's 5. But, you know, 5 is going to be for Nintendo systems, where we have been doing it. And World will probably just stay as the more high-end graphics and more accessible Monster Hunter, which would still a fine thing to do. It's very successful for them. It works. They could really have 2 side-by-side mainline series. I don't see... Mario does it. I don't see why other franchises can't, as long as they do it well. But anyway, that's where it would be announced. The same thing probably with Animal Crossing. But I don't want to get too much into that, because that's going to be for another video where I predict the 2019 lineup for Nintendo Switch. The video probably will be coming out next week. But anyway, there are 6 roles. We have the Monster Hunter stage clearly teased, and let's be completely honest, Monster Hunter has, like, Castlevania has characters, assist trophies, and stages. The same thing for Mega Man. The same thing for every other third-party character. I would find it really weird if a big third-party game would come into Smash with just an assist trophy. And I know Shovel Knight is just an assist trophy, but Shovel Knight only has an assist trophy, nothing else. And we've seen a location for Monster Hunter. That's completely different. Anyway, tell me in the comment section, what do you think of this possibility? Do you think that we will be getting a Monster Hunter character and a Monster Hunter stage in the next in the Super Smash Bros. Ultimate Or do you think I'm just crazy and reaching way too hard? But anyway, and if you believe and you find this plausible at the very least, tell me, what do you think the six possible characters will be? I would have mentioned them in this video, but I probably will be doing, not probably, I will be doing a video for tomorrow. That will be my final 6 characters predictions alongside with echoes for the base roster of the game. But anyway, thank you guys for watching. I've been The Legend of DS, and I'll see you guys soon.